Now let's turn to some of the strategies that decrease the cognitive complexity of either the text or the task. Obviously, one way to do that is to provide students with multiple opportunities to be able to understand that content using multiple media, reading text, writing assignments, class discussion, self-access technology or technology which is being used in groups. Using repetition, paraphrasing, summaries, and clarification strategies to check that students are comprehending both the concepts and the language. Focusing students' attention on important vocabulary and reducing their attention to less important. And let me suggest also that that's really critical in terms of text. Students have a way of assuming that everything they read is equally important, and everything that a teacher says in class is equally important. We need to find ways to help them to understand what's important and what isn't. And one of the ways, of course, that we do that is in our ways in which we teach teachers to present information and ways of eliminating less important detail, helping them to focus on what's significant through charts, through graphs, through diagrams, through all sorts of graphic organizers such as Venn diagrams or timelines or tree diagrams, semantic maps. These are particularly helpful for helping students to understand the relationships between ideas while they're also trying to construct this new knowledge. Consciously teaching students study skills and higher order thinking skills and modeling effective strategies. I'm thinking now about a math teacher I saw who actually put a graph up on the board, and while he was doing what he was asking the students to do, he was telling them what he was thinking about and why he was doing it. Well, I'm going to do this now, and I'm thinking about this, modeling for them not only what it was they were to do, but also the thinking that was behind that. Guided reading, journal writing in which we respond to students in journal entries or in which students respond to each other and then we get engaged. All of these help students to become more aware of the kinds of strategies that we expect in schools, the kinds of thinking and study skills that are needed. Making sure that we assign a variety of written work so that students have a chance when they have a little bit of quiet time to be able to monitor their own learning. It's a way we can also use as a check on student progress. And then, of course, using a variety of assessments to enable learners to demonstrate what they are understanding and also to help us to see what they aren't. And that then leads me to the fourth area of things that teachers need to be able to know to be able to work effectively in diverse classrooms. And, of course, we as teacher educators need to consider, regardless of what discipline or what level we are preparing our teachers for. And that's the last one then is assessment strategies. With both the federal government and the states increasing the use of standardized tests to assess students and actually to assess teachers as well, it's really important to remember that it is grossly unfair to expect someone who is still learning a language of instruction to be able to be assessed the same way as those who came to school already speaking that language or proficient in it, unless there are accommodations that are made. We need to help our teachers, our future teachers, understand that there are a variety of accommodations that can be made, and we also need to make them into advocates for our students and to demand that state systems of assessment be made sensitive to a range of prior education, literacy, and the like. If a student has been able to do well in a course because there has been an attempt to modify and adapt instruction, then clearly those same modifications or accommodations need to be provided in the assessment as well. Otherwise, all we've said to a student is, well, you did well under these conditions, but boy, we're going to test you under other conditions. We need to make sure that we give students a chance to demonstrate what they know. Unless accommodations are made,
right,
we need to allow students to demonstrate understanding in multiple ways other than just writing. We need to let them tell us, to show us. We need, if they're in a standardized testing situation, they may need more time, they may need access to bilingual dictionaries, they may need to be allowed to work in a group. But we need to make sure that whatever has been the accommodation in their instruction is also an accommodation in the actual assessment.